Hello, welcome everyone. Thanks for watching. The coronavirus pandemic has reached all corners of the globe, and Iran was one of the first and badly hit countries. And there were a lot of social and economical problems, and they still are there. So in response, a group of activists have come together and they have created a task force to tackle the coronavirus in Iran. I'm here with Shiva Mahbobi, who is a member of this task force. Shiva, hello, welcome.
Hello, hi. Thanks for
Shiva, let's introduce this task force. What is the task force to tackle coronavirus in Iran?
Well, the task force to tackle coronavirus in Iran, which I would call it TTCI, we call it that, and basically it's a grassroots organization that was launched on 5th of March 2020. So basically, tens of well-known right activists and political activists came together and established this organization. And since then, more than 350 people joined this campaign from Iran, North America, Europe, and everywhere. And we have two aspects of our work. One part of it is raising money for hospitals, for people in Iran, basically to buy medical equipment, etc. And the other part is making awareness and letting the international organization knows what's going on. Our demands are basically we have a few demands. One of them is that we believe that we demand that all the public places in Iran, including universities, schools, public places that are not part of the necessity of people, and as well as the prisons, they must be shut down, and also as well as the religious places, religious ceremonies, etc., must be shut down. And also the other demand we have is that the families who lost their job because of the COVID-19, and also they are in a very bad financial situation, they should be supported by the government. Another demand is that all people in Iran should have access to free medical care, as basically medicines and medical care are extremely expensive. And also we demand that prisoners in general must be released or being given temporary leave from prison, as there is a horrendous situation in prison, no social distancing, extreme overcrowding, basically the hygiene is non-existent. And the other basically demands we have that the government in Iran must allow the international organizations such as World Health Organization and Doctors Without Borders to come to Iran and be able to monitor the situation and support them. And the last one is that the security forces, and specifically the IRGC, Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, must be stopped and must not interfere in the support that is gathered for people in the coronavirus outbreak, because in many cases they actually confiscate, they hoard the medical equipment and they sell it in a higher price. So basically this is what we do, and these are our demands.
So you raised a couple of issues there. Tell me, why did you see the need to found such a task force? Isn't it easier and better to coordinate and work with the Iranian regime?
Well, in a normal situation, in a country that government at least has a level of care for people, you're right. Many NGOs in different countries, they're actually helping the governments to tackle the outbreak of COVID-19. But in Iran, that's a different situation, because we're dealing with a government that has been suppressing, torturing, killing people for the last 41 years. And there is extreme poverty just because of having the Islamic regime on power. So in this situation, even the money that basically donated by some countries, specifically in Europe, they don't get to people. Hospitals are deprived of many equipment, including the very necessary one like personal protective equipment. For that reason, many people in different cities, they gathered and they created community groups to kind of disinfect the streets and all the thing. Basically, we're dealing with a government that has no care for the life, for the health, for the well-being of people, and it actually makes the situation worse. So in this situation, one part of it is the financial situation and the poverty even gone extremely worse than before. And the other part is that no one dares to talk about it. Like just recently, like in Europe, for example, if you can criticize the government, you can take it to the media, you can write on social media, you can take them to the court and all that. But in Iran, people get punished for that. Just recently, the government official basically figure from the government is that since, for example, February, they have arrested 3,600 people because, according to them, on the social media, they wrote against the regime and their opposition to how the regime handles the outbreak of COVID-19. So therefore, we're dealing with the regime from all aspects. They do not let these people talk. So basically us, TTCI, is an organization who also raised the voice of these people in Iran, who we have written to the World Health Organization and we have let them know what's going on there. So it is important, one, to raise money and send them directly to people and to the hospital, and secondly, to raise awareness and be the voice of these people. There's thousands of people who've been arrested just because they showed their opposition to how they handle the situation.
But the official figure of deaths of coronavirus in Iran is 6,500. That's a lot less than in some other countries for now. So isn't the Iranian regime doing a good job there? And why do you ask then institutions like the WHO to intervene?
Well, the figures are completely made up, basically. I mean, we have reports from Iran inside the cities and also in prisons that there are hundreds of thousands that they have symptoms. First of all, the test is very limited. So therefore, the figures, even those people who died, it's not the right figure. I just want to share something. I mean, the outbreak of coronavirus, the very early cases of coronavirus has started way back before the government announced it. And they actually covered it up because there was a parliamentary election. So they didn't talk about it. So you can imagine that the government in Iran, rather than protecting people, they are the reason that the COVID-19 outbreak got even out of hand. And also Mahan airline, which is mainly owned by the IRGC, the Islamic Revolutionary Guard, even the time that the government announced that the outbreak is there, they actually, Mahan Airlines keep flying between China and Iran without any consideration. So when you look at all that and the arrests of people because they talked about the negligence from the government in this outbreak, so you can see that these figures are completely made up. And this is quite dangerous because if organizations like us don't talk about it and don't let the international organization knows about it, well, they have the only report they have is from the Islamic regime. And now we hear the news from hospital, from the cities, and the situation is extremely bad. And they actually preparing themselves for the second wave of COVID-19, which is supposed to be even worse than the first wave.
So tell us a couple of examples how you work with people in Iran, how you help them, how you work with hospitals, what has been happening and what is happening at the moment.
So what we do, basically, part of it, as I said, we report to the international organizations, but raising the money, basically we raise money using PayPal and our bank account and, in our network, because as I said, most of the people that working with the TTCI they are also in Iran. They're families of prisoners, they're activists. So what we do, we raise money and through our secure network and connection, we send it to hospital so they can buy basically equipment and particularly like shields, masks and all those equipment that is needed for the hospitals. That's one way of it, that we send it to them and we get the report back that how many masks they bought. And we usually every 2 or 3 months we produce a report on how the money been spent, how much money been spent. And bear in mind that it's very difficult also to send this money. We have all these secure connections to make sure actually the hospitals, they receive that. And beside the hospitals, we actually also send help to some of the families, either families of prisoners or families who are in a very, very bad situation financially, and we are being made aware by our network in Iran. So this is how we send it to them, basically to our connection and send it to them, because we believe that any money that get to the government in Iran, they're going to be taken, confiscated, and they're not going to be given to them. And very example of it is the news about the masks and sanitizers that have been basically confiscated and held by the IRGC and been sold in a higher price. So this is how we send the money. And also the other thing, we collect money and also we ask the artists. For example, one of the artists in Germany donated a painting to us. So we ask the artists to send their donation to us as well. So we basically, we ask people are our main source of donations, and we send it to hospitals mainly and also people who most need it.
So how can people across the world help you?
Well, so let me just acknowledge that I know that we are in a very challenging time. We all deal with COVID-19. I mean, look, we are talking in our home. So basically all self-isolating. I know in all countries, people deal with this difficult situation financially, emotionally, and all that. But at the same time, I think for example, in Europe, in some way we're better off and we have kind of level of security in some way. So I'm asking people who watch this to most of all help financially. €1, £1, $1 really is nothing. So they can, and don't think about it that, for example, if it's not a lot. Anything you pay, it's actually, if you look at the equivalent in Iran, we can buy several masks, we can, pay for a meal or something like that. So therefore, people can donate, even if they are artists, they can promote basically the work. And as well as we have a petition that can be signed. Once in a while, we ask people to send letters to the World Health Organization and other organizations to actually force the government to send the right figure, to allow them to get in Iran and provide people with the services. So mainly keeping in touch, following us on the Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and contacting us. Any idea would be great. But the most important thing is donation. No matter how much they have, we ask everyone to donate, because I think they also supporting a huge cause, the cause of humanity, not just because of COVID-19. They have to bear in mind that we actually face a bigger threat, which is the Islamic regime in Iran. If we get rid of the COVID-19, we still have the Islamic regime in Iran. So I think this is a huge cause in helping people in Iran to survive and helping the TTCI to do a great work that so far it's been done through volunteers mainly.
So for everybody who wants to donate, wants to help, we put Shiva Mahbobi's phone number. You see it on the screen now. You can call her if you have any question. Get in touch, social apps. We're also going to put the PayPal link and other info at the end of the video. Shiva Mahbobi, thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
To everybody, stay safe. Goodbye.